Today we discuss section 5.3 linear congruences. Polynomial congruences can be studied almost the same way that we studied polynomial equations. In this section, we deal with polynomials f of x with integer coefficients so that the values of these polynomials will be integers when x is an integer. Now we can think of the congruence f of x congruent to 0 mod m. An x which satisfies this congruence relation is called solution of the polynomial congruence. Of course, if x is congruent to y mod m, then f of x is congruent to f of y mod m. So every polynomial congruence has infinitely many solutions if it has at least one. Therefore, when we speak of the number of solutions of a congruence or polynomial congruence, we shall mean that the number of incongruent solutions. That is the number of solutions contained in the set 1, 2, 3, etc. m if we consider this polynomial congruence f of x congruent to 0 mod m. For example, consider the congruence or polynomial congruence relation 2x congruent to 3 mod 4. This implies 4 divides 2x minus 3. This implies 4 divides an odd integer, that is a contradiction. So we can say that 2x congruent to 3 mod 4 has no solution. This congruence is called linear congruence because this congruence contains x with the power 1. Consider another example, x square congruent to 1 mod 8. This congruence is called quadratic congruence because this congruence contains x with the power 2, and 1, 3, 5, 7 are the solutions of this quadratic congruence. Since 1 square minus 1 is equal to 0, that is 0 mod 8. Since 3 square minus 1 is 9 minus 1, that is 8, that is congruent to 0 mod 8. So 3 is also solution. For 5 we have 5 square minus 1, that is 24, so that is also 0 mod 8. Then we have 7 square is 49 minus 1 is 48 is also 0 mod 8. So these 4 are the solutions of the congruence. In fact, it is a quadratic congruence, x square congruent to 1 mod 8. Now we have a theorem 5.12. Assume GCD a comma m is equal to 1, then the linear congruence ax congruent to b mod m has exactly one solution. Proof. We know that set 1, 2, 3, etc. m constitutes a complete residue system. Then by theorem 5.11, set a, 2a, etc. mw form the complete residue system, since GCD of a comma m is equal to 1. And this complete residue system form a partition for set of all integers. B belongs to union of all these residue classes. Say B belongs to A I cap for some I. That is, B is congruent to AI mod M. This shows that I is the solution of the congruence relation X congruent to B mod M. Since this form a complete residue system, exactly one of them is congruent to B mod M. So we can say that the solution is unique. Next we have a theorem 5.13. Assume GCD a comma m is equal to D, then the linear congruence AX congruent to B mod M has a solution if and only if D divides B. Proof. If there is a solution, say x naught, we have Ax naught is congruent to B mod M. This implies Ax naught minus B is equal to Km, a multiple of M. So that implies B equal to Ax naught minus Km. But we are given that D is the GCD of A comma M. Consequently, D divides A and D divides M. Now you have D divides A and D divides M from this equation. You can say that D divides the right side, so D divides B itself. Okay. Conversely, assume that D divides B. Then consider the equation X congruent to B mod M. We know that D is the GCD of A comma M, so D divides A and D divides M. Then if D divides B, you can rewrite this congruence as A by D X congruent to B by D mod M by D. Okay. Now consider this congruence. Then we have A by D comma M by D is equal to 1. GCD of these two quantities is equal to 1 because D is the GCD of A comma M. Okay, so using the previous theorem, you can say that this congruence has a solution. A by D X congruent to B by D mod M by D has a solution. In fact, it is a unique solution. So if you have a solution, say x naught, you can get A by D x naught minus B by D equal to some k times M by D. So that implies by multiplying with D, you can get Ax naught minus B equal to Km. This implies x naught is the solution of the given linear congruence X congruent to B mod M. So we know that if D divides B, then you can consider this linear congruence. Then we can assert that there is a solution using the previous theorem. Then using that solution, you can get the solution of the given linear congruence. In fact, this is the exactly same solution for this Ax congruent to B mod M. Next, we have theorem 5.14. Assume A comma M is equal to D, and suppose that D divides B. Then the linear congruence has exactly D solutions modulo M. These are given by T plus M by D, T plus 2M by D, etc. all the way up to T plus D minus 1 times M by D, where T is the solution unique modulo M by D. A by dx congruent to B by D modulo M by D. Now we have proof. For the proof, we put this equation as equation number 1. And the solution set t plus M by D, T plus 2 M by D plus etc. all the way up to T plus D minus 1 M by D as the equation number 2. We know that by the previous theorem, 1 has a solution. But every solution of 1 is a solution of our linear congruence. If we take T is a solution of 1, we can say that that is a solution of T is a solution of our linear congruence Ax congruent to B mod M. Consequently, T plus M by D, T plus 2 M by D are all the solutions of our linear congruence Ax congruent to B mod M. Since these are the solutions of 1 itself. Since T is the solution of 1, then this T plus M by D, that is congruent modulo M by D. So this T plus M by D is also a solution of the congruence 1. Then T plus 2 times M by D is also a solution of congruence 1. Then these are all the solutions of 1 is a solution of Ax congruent to B mod M. Therefore, these are all the solution of Ax congruent to B mod M. But these are congruent modulo, the same congruent modulo solutions as far as this one is concerned. But we will prove that these are incongruent modulo, that is distinct solutions of our linear congruence X congruent to B. If we consider one, then these are the same solutions or congruent modulo solutions. As far as our linear congruence X congruent to B mod M is concerned, we can say that these are incongruent modulo solutions. That means distinct solution that we have to prove. For that, we assume two solutions are not incongruent. Say t plus r times m by d is congruent to t plus s times m by d mod m. We need to prove that these are incongruent modulo solutions with the modulus m. So for that we assume a contradiction, or we assume a contrary part. T plus r m by d congruent to t plus s m by d is the same congruent modulo m with 0 less than or equal to r comma s less than d. This implies r into m by d is congruent to s into m by d mod m. This implies r minus s times m by d is a multiple of m, say km. So this implies r minus s equal to k times d. By cancelling this m from the both side, you can write r minus s is equal to kd. So this implies r is congruent to s mod d, because d divides r minus s. But we know that r and s are two integers, two non-negative integers which is less than d, with r congruent to s mod d. That means this difference r minus s is always a multiple of d, means this modulus r minus s is also a multiple of d. So this implies r equal to s, or r minus s is equal to 0, then you can get r equal to s. That means these two solutions are congruent modulo. These two solutions are exactly the same solutions. So we can say that these are all incongruent modulo or distinct solution as far as this Ax congruent to B mod M is concerned. Next we have to prove that if y is any solution, then we need to prove that this y takes the form t or t plus m by d or t plus 2 m by d, etc. That means every solution takes one of these forms. That means if y satisfies ay congruent to b mod m, we will prove that this y is one of these values t comma t plus m by d comma t plus 2 m by d, etc. For that we assume ay congruent to b mod m. Consequently we have a t, since this t is the solution of the equation x congruent to b mod m, you can get from this equation itself ay is congruent to a t mod m. This implies m divides a into y minus t. That implies m by d divides a by d y minus t. That implies this m by d, since the GCD of m by d comma a by d is equal to 1, this m by d divides y minus t. That means that y is equal to t, y is congruent to t mod m by d. So this shows that y is one of the solutions of this form. Or from you can write this as y minus t is a multiple of m by d, so that y minus t is equal to some k times m by d, then y is equal to t plus k times m by d for some k. So we can say that every solution of the linear congruence Ax congruent to b mod m is of the form t plus k times m by d, where t is the solution of the congruence 1 here and k is any integer. This completes the proof. Now we have theorem 5.15. If GCD of a comma b is equal to d, then there exist two integers x and y such that ax is congruent to x plus by is equal to d. So we start with the congruence ax congruent to d mod b. Then we have this a comma GCD a comma b is equal to d, and that d divides this d. Okay, now by the previous theorem you can get a solution. Now we take x is the solution of congruent congruence ax congruent to d mod b. Now we have d minus ax is a multiple of b, say by. This implies d is equal to ax plus by. Now we can say that if d is the GCD of a comma b, then there exist integers x and y such that d is equal to ax plus by. So this completes section 5.3.